I am Stephanie Cronin, and I'm an interventionist at Bethel Elementary School. So working with students to give them an extra boost with their reading. I want to welcome you to our event this evening. And it really is our goal today to just share information with you about why it is so important to expose your child to reading at home, starting at a very young age. And we're going to provide you with information on the many different ways that you can do this. So you will also get an opportunity to see a video of Miss Karen reading a book aloud to show you how to interactively read with your child in order to promote these important early reading skills. So at the end of our presentation, you will have an opportunity to share any thoughts or questions that you might have related to the event. So also be on the lookout for a packet that contains some fun books and activities for you and your child to enjoy together. And this will be sent home in your child's backpack. So I am now going to give our presenters a chance to briefly introduce themselves.
I am Karen Turner. I'm the pre-K teacher, and I've been teaching for 29 years and 26 years for pre-K. I've worked with the literacy team for many years and have been a part of the literacy night for 3 years.
Hi, I'm Carol Sears. I'm the pre-K classroom assistant at Bethel Elementary and have been working here for 7 years. And I absolutely love to read books with children.
Hi, I'm Janet Whitaker. I'm the librarian at the Bethel campus. I was a classroom teacher for many years. As a librarian, I support classroom teachers and students with books and resources, but most importantly, try to help students find the joy in reading.
So why is it important to read to your child? Research shows that reading to your child starting in infancy promotes early language development by exposure to the rhythm and melody of language, which is one of the foundational pieces of eventually learning how to read. Early reading helps children to make connections to the world around them, develops their imagination, increases vocabulary, develops language and listening skills, and supports them in understanding the written word and how print works. The greatest amount of brain growth occurs between birth and age 5. And in fact, by age 3, roughly 85% of the brain's core structure is formed. In the first 3 years, infant and toddlers begin acquiring the first of thousands of words they will use throughout their lives. The single most significant factor influencing a child's early education success in introduction to books and being read to at home prior to being in school. Most importantly, reading early supports a positive love of reading and a special time to be with your child, and leading into a lifelong enjoyment of reading for pleasure, plus reading for business and knowledge.
So, how do you choose a good book for your child? Books should be short enough to hold their attention. The pages should not have too many words on them to be distracting. Children should be able to look at the pictures and get the main idea of what is happening without the printed words. The story should be appropriate for the child's age level so that they can understand what is happening. Include books that include new speech sounds, concepts such as farm animals, clothing, or social skills like how to share and making friends. Books should help add new words to the child's vocabulary. Alphabet books, picture dictionaries, and even nonfiction books are great. Emphasize the development of new words. And young children love books with repeating lines and rhyming words.
I'm going to give you some tips for reading with your children. Let your children choose the book and the pages to read. Read together for as long as your children are interested. Hold the child in your lap. Let them hold the book and turn the pages. Point to the pictures and talk about them. You can follow along, your finger follow it along the text so they understand how language works. Let your child describe the pictures and tell the story to you. If they are just beginning to say sounds, imitate them and then provide them with new sounds and words for them to imitate. You tell the story and leave a few words out and let the child fill them in. Respond to all of your children's questions. Follow their lead in discussing the story. Show delight and enthusiasm as you read books.
What else can we read besides books? Reading is really everywhere if you look around. You could read the cereal box, you can read comics and magazines, you can write notes to your child. It's always fun to receive a letter and have your child write you notes back too. You can look for road signs when you're out driving, like the stop sign. You can read advertisements and sales flyers. Look for signs and labels at the store. You could read a grocery list. You can read recipes. Games have reading. You could read seed packets and catalogs, and mail, because mail is always popular and very fun to read. So now you will get to hear the story if you give a mouse a cookie, which is being read by our preschool teacher, Karen Turner. And if you have any little ones around, which I see a couple there, this is a great time to have them join in and listen to this special story.
Good evening, boys and girls. This is Miss Karen. I'm going to read you the story If You Give a Mouse a Cookie by Laura Numroth. If you give a mouse a cookie, he's going to ask for a glass of milk. When you give him the milk, he'll probably ask you for a straw. When he's finished, he'll ask you for a napkin. Then he'll want to look in the mirror to make sure he doesn't have a milk mustache. When he looks into the mirror, he might notice his hair needs a trim. So he'll probably ask you for a pair of scissors. When he finished giving himself a trim, he'll want a broom to sweep up. He'll start sweeping. He might get carried away and sweep every room in the house. He may even end up washing the floors as well. When he's done, he'll probably want to take a nap. You'll have to fix up a little box for him with a blanket and a pillow. He'll crawl in, make himself comfortable, and fluff the pillow a few times. He'll probably ask you to read him a story. So you'll read to him from one of your books, and he'll ask to see the pictures. When he looks at the pictures, he'll get so excited, he'll want to draw one of his own. He'll ask for paper and crayons. He'll draw a picture. When his picture is finished, he'll want to sign his name. With a pen. Then he'll want to hang his picture on your refrigerator, which means he'll need Scotch tape. He'll hang up his drawing and stand back to look at it. Looking at the refrigerator will remind him that he's thirsty. So He'll ask you for a glass of milk, and chances are, if he asks you for a glass of milk, he's going to want a cookie to go with it. So during this time when you're sitting with your child your child sitting on your lap, you could engage them by talking about the cover of the book, what's on the cover, what the author does, what an illustrator does. The author writes the words in the book, or writes the story. The illustrator draws the pictures. And another way to do is stop and take a look at some of the pictures. Look at and talk about how thirsty this mouse is. He is so thirsty. Can you tell by his face? And then another way is leaving out a word. In the page here where he was about ready to take a nap, right here, you could leave out nap and let them fill in the word. And talk about the pictures. What do you see? Talk about some vocabulary. There's lots of water on the floor. How are we going to clean that up if that was at our house? And then to keep on engaging them, you could talk about, hey, what kind of cookies do you want to make? Let's make some cookies. Let's get some recipes out. And that you can engage in math.
Thanks, Miss Karen. So your child will be receiving a folder that includes 2 books, some related activities, and information about reading with your child. And the books are for you to keep. So look for this in your child's backpack in the next few days.
Okay, so your feedback is very valuable to us. So we welcome any comments or questions at this time that you might have. Then I just want to thank you so much for attending tonight. And just remember to make sure to check your child's backpack for the free books and some great activities and and also it will go over a lot of what we talked about this afternoon as far as what you can do at home to support early reading and literacy with your child. So thank you again so much for attending, and I hope everyone has a great night.
Thank you.